Okay, guys, we're back in business. We're gonna rebuild the Traxxas TRX 3.3 nitro engine. Pretty much, our engine, the bearings was shot, so very common issue. These are very cheap and lame bearings. They're plastic caging in there. You see that? Gonna make your car, the truck run lean and all kinds of stuff, and all kinds of crazy things gonna happen there. Anyways, we got a new glow plug. We got a new clutch. Everything should be nice and simple. We got the bolts. These bolts are for the block to mount onto the car, the truck. These are for the exhaust. These are for what are they for? They're for something. I'm sure I know where they go. And these are for the backing plate right here. Some of other bolts, and these are for the plastic cover on the top. So it should be as simple. We got everything together, and we're gonna start everything and put everything together. You might want to get yourself some after run oil, good stuff to have, and lubricate everything. And let's get this baby going. So going back to the bolt right here, so it's 5 bolts. That's what they look like. They go straight into the head, which block goes onto the block. 5 bolts. That's where those are gonna go. So just keep things in order, as I've done it so many times, so can't go wrong. No bolt should be left behind. And before we start anything, I do want to mention there's a small little washer in there. So it's like an oval, okay? So you cannot put the ovalness facing down like that. It's got to be facing upward like that. The oval is grooved. It's like upward. That way it gives a free play to that bearing in the back. If you put it the other way around, it's going to scrape against your the bell housing here to make sure this is nice and clean. You don't want anything in there. So this is our old clutch. This is what it looked like. It was damaged. It was gone. It still had a little bit of life to it, but it's got to go, okay? See that? It's got to go. We're going to put a new clutch in. Anyways, let's get this job going. Okay, it's time to get serious, and we're gonna start putting this baby together. Gonna put this exhaust away, and so we're gonna start off by using some after run oil, and let's put this baby away too, because we don't need this start, an easy start yet. So first thing first, what I like to do is I like to lube these things. So a lot of lubrication is the key here, and just submerge it all around. It's okay. Put some in here. Put some in here. Put some on the journal here, on the bearing. And what we're going to do is we're going to simply take this piston. Okay, so this piston doesn't have a right or wrong way. So if you see a small little hole right there, that's going to face towards the front of the engine. So what we're going to do is we're going to put this piston in, and at the same time I'm going to help it from the back end to put this onto our crank right there. So I'm gonna grab something like this needle nose here. Should I have grabbed it first? So just a simple grab. I'm gonna take this and put it onto that crank, and this thing should, the crank is spinning with it. Come on, little guy. Crank is going with it. I do not like that crank anymore. So got it in there almost, and I'm gonna just guide it a bit. And come on, what's going on? Don't make my life so harder than it is already. Gonna move it around. So we did replace the bearings. I do have videos on that. So I guess we need to bring this piston up. So that'd be a better angle to bring it up, and just get it right on the top. Okay, what we're gonna do is we're gonna get this baby to face this way. And you probably thinking I'm crazy trying to do this in this angle. So it is what it is. So things are not so easy. Shouldn't be that difficult to get this baby on though. So once we get it right there, we should be able to get this baby right on it. Just like that. And you see that? We got this guy in there. And now, just make sure you had the piston the correct way. We did get it correct way. Other than that, it's going to die out because it's now going to get lubricated. Next step, what I did here is my engine block is kind of warmish, and the reason why it's warm is because I use this lighter, it will expand. The material will expand. Okay, so there's a right and wrong with the sleeve too. You see, the sleeve has a small little notch there. There's a small little notch there. So it only goes one way. Other than that, your ports are going to be the wrong way. So now you need to be careful with the piston. So once you get this guy to go in, you have to guide the piston a bit. Just put my pinky in there, and once the piston and everything just guides up in there, we should be able to turn it. Okay, guide it and turn it. The piston will come in there, and then we can just push the sleeve in. Just make sure it aligns with the notch there. And if it doesn't line with the notch, it's probably not going to close up. So what I want to do is it's kind of a little bit off. I want to just twist it with this. I'm going to twist it with this little guy. Okay, there you go. Perfect. We got that baby perfect. And this thing should sit flush. And we got a working piston. Let's throw some oil in there. And this baby is nice and good. Okay, next step here is very important to you get that notch to the spot that's supposed to be at. Next step here is we're gonna put this little guy. So this little guy, I do want to throw some oil on this stuff and see how that goes. So this little guy is gonna sit in there just like that. But that's with that's gonna be with this little guy right here. So this and this will sit together, and there's a small little washer in the back here. Okay, the washer goes right there. Small little spacer. So when you get this guy in, so we're pretty much this block here has okay, make sure your crank and everything aligns internally. So this is in. This is perfect. And we got a working piston, and we're gonna put the 4 bolts in here. I'm gonna go clean up, and I do need to go check my phone first. Okay, so what we're gonna do next is we're gonna go grab one of my tools, which is this little guy. So there's 4 little bolts that goes into this. Okay, so 4 bolts go into this. And I want to check something. I want to show something. There's an O-ring right there, so make sure that O-ring is present there, and make sure this notch grabs on. And if it doesn't grab on in there inside the engine, it's not gonna close up properly, most likely. And so it is giving me a tough time to close up. So we're gonna figure that out. I'm gonna switch sides and angles, and it still hasn't lined. It was aligned earlier, but since I pulled it out, it didn't line no more. So you see it has those little markings there, so it's been scraping there because of the bad bearings. And that's where this baby's gonna go. One more time, one last try. It should drop in there. Okay, I don't know why it's not happening. It should just drop inside there. So maybe this is not the spot for it. Okay, so what we're gonna do is, okay, you see these little markings, face those up. So make sure you face them up. I forgot about that. There you go. Now it will line. 4 of our screws will go in. As long as your seal is good, put in a new seal if you need to, and that should take care of any leaks. Because this engine, it does work off a pressure. It needs to have good pressure, internal pressure. Compression in the engine has got to be good, like any other engine. Also, the crankcase pressure is what creates the pressure to pump fuel into the chamber. So if that's not present there, if there's leaks in there, you got bad bearings, all that is going to cause trouble, and we don't want that. So we're going to lock these up. So it doesn't have to be nothing crazy, just hand tight, nice and tight. And the only bolt that I'm going to put thread locking is on the 4 bolts that mounts this engine to the block. But this thing should still be spinning freely. And that's that. So we're pretty much, this end engine is kind of complete already. So this little guy right here goes right here, and it's got to be pushed in. Okay, come on. This will probably open up a bit, and then we'll give it another try. Okay, maybe with this bell housing. Okay, that's gonna cause troubles. So this thing needs to go all the way in, and then this guy goes on the flywheel. So this thing is giving me trouble because it doesn't want to open up. It doesn't want to let go in. So what I want to do is I want to open up this notch. Oops, don't hurt yourself. So let's open this guy up a bit. Okay, not liking that. Okay, I'm not liking this. Alright, once I get this in, I might have to open this up and drop this. Got to go all the way in there. So this got to go all the way in there. Okay, got this baby in. Okay, so all I did was I heated it up a bit and I just tapped in and dropped right in. So our flywheel goes in next. It doesn't matter which angle where you put it at. So this does have a little magnetic thing here. The nitro engine does have a sensor that checks the RPM on this guy. So we're gonna lock this up. So to lock this up, a lot of people want to use this as a holder, but you don't want that. Anyways, my phone is ringing. I'll be right back. Okay, so phone keeps ringing. Somebody, my neighbor's bothering me. Anyways, not bothering me, but he's paying me some money that he owes me. So hold this really tight. This thing, all this thing needs to be is really tight. Oh, yeah, that hurt my fingers. Okay, so that's done. It's not going nowhere. It's not coming loose because the clutch and everything's going to be on the way. So next step here is pay attention. There's a small little O-ring in there. So make sure that O-ring right inside there, that's there and it's good. That's how this carburetor becomes a fuel locked in. Anyways, I'm gonna have to clean up my hands here because the clutch is something I don't want to touch with my bare hands because I don't want to destroy the grip of that, even though you're gonna get nitro on that thing, but it works pretty good. So it's a good idea to check, watch, and clean. So this thing, it has this little spring here. All you need to do is put this. It's gonna come with 2 shoes and a spring. So all you need to do is put this baby in there, lock this spring up in there. It's not gonna be so easy, but it's part of the game. And this is what does the magic. Okay, the spring right here. Because the spring is what makes the tension on that clutch. And the RPM comes down, it releases that clutch. There you go. Very simple. Okay, if you don't know how this clutch goes, just pay attention to your old clutch and you're gonna see it's and plus, when you take this off, pay attention to it, how it is. So this is the flat side, clean side, which is against the flywheel. The other raggedy side is on the opposite side. So what we're going to do is we're going to take this spring. We're going to put it onto this clutch. It's going to be tough. It's not going to be so easy. But I'm sure you should be able to do this. No worries, no problems. Should not be an issue. So okay, this little guy needs to go in. Oh my God, it's not easy to do this. Fingers are gonna hurt at the end of the video. But make sure it's on the opposite side, okay? You cannot leave it on the same side. Then you will not have that magic of that clutch. It won't even go on to your engine. Anyways, I'm sure they have a special tool for this crap, which I'm not even going to look into. But I will get this clutch in there, and once I have it, we will put it onto the nitro engine together. So give it a moment. Give me that time frame. And hopefully this is the one. Okay, I think this is the one. Okay, see how hard the nitro engine has to work to engage your clutch onto that? Oh, that's how hard it got to work. Real hard. But there you go. Whew, that hurts my fingers. So remember, flat side, it's better you keep paying attention how it comes off. So this little guy can only go this way. So what I want to do is I want to put it the same way. Because the rotation will matter. Okay, rotation will matter. And that. Okay, there it is. And our clutch is on. We talked about that little oval ring in there. this guy is gonna go on. Come on. You know what? Let's put that oval thing on first. And then make sure your bearings are in there. Clutch should be, bell housing here should be good. Free of any restriction. And what we have next is this little retainer that's gonna fly on you. Okay, so be careful. Don't let this baby fly on you. So take it easy. Use your needle nose, and all you're gonna do is this retainer here. See, the retainer goes right on, and the bolt that's in the front, I don't even know which bolt it was. I think it was this little guy. Or did we have a bolt on this? Okay, I don't think we had a bolt on this. Or did we? I'm forgetting that part. Okay, I will figure that one out. Anyways, you're gonna just continue. See how you forget things? And this little guy. Okay, now a little bit of lube on this as well, so it can go in easy, nice and easy. Use your fingers, and this is how this has to face on the left side of the engine, and this is to the right. You can always move it around, but you see this little guy, this housing, this needs to be turned so it's nice and flat, and that's the only place where your carburetor is gonna drop in there. Other than that, it's not gonna go in. There you go. Put your finger down on it. And what I want to do is I want to grab one of my tools that I have here. And I want to lock up this little screw, this bolt nut here. And very simple. Okay, this doesn't work on it. This side is good. Okay, there you go. Push down on it, flush. And our engine has a new carb. There you go, nice and tight. Okay, cannot move around no more, and that's done deal. So far looking good. Okay, we do have this seal here. Okay, doesn't matter how you put it, but then our engine block. What I like to do with the engine block is I like to take one of the bolts, stick it right through these holes, and this is where the magic happens. Let's bring our light down. Okay, I want to bring my light down so it shines the block better. There you go. And that bolt, doesn't matter which angle you get it at, it does not matter. But your seal does matter. So this little seal that must move around, it's a good idea. You stick it and put it onto the block here and to the head. And it's a good idea to put a little bit of lube, because that lube is gonna hold your head gasket, if you want to call it a head gasket. It's gonna hold it in place, and this baby's gonna get locked in. Make sure the head gasket has not moved, because other than that you're gonna damage everything. And let's get another bolt in. And this is where you want to go perfectly even and flush. And I just want to check my head bolt there. There you go, perfect. And it's gonna feel like if the sleeve is not all the way in, you will feel like it's compressing in, which is normal, which is not a big deal. And do them evenly, okay? You don't want to do one side and then the other side. Do them evenly. So let me get all the bolts in, and then we'll tighten them evenly and equally together. Let's see which one I had in there. So I do not have. See, is this one in? That one looks like it's in. That would have been a good idea for me to drop them all in there, because I can't see no more. Okay, this hole doesn't have anything in there. There you go. And perfect. We got one more bolt. Now I need to figure out which one got it, which one don't got it. Okay, it seems like this one got it, that one got it, that one got it. This one doesn't got it. Let's see if I'm right. Perfect. Okay, now we can just tighten them evenly. A little bit here, a little bit here, a little bit here, and a little bit here, and then just lock them all up nice and tight. You don't want to strip them because there's no way you're gonna get in there without damaging the head here. Heat sink, you want to call it a heat sink or you want to call it a head, it's all up to you. There you go. Okay, it should be nice and flush and even, and since we don't have the glow plug in yet, your engine should be nice and free. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna put a fresh glow plug. We got ourselves a fresh glow plug. And where's the seal? Okay, there it is. There's a seal in here that we need. The crush washer, you should call it a crush washer. This baby goes in. Fresh glow plug for this baby. I'm gonna put this on. And there you go. Looking good so far. Nice and hand tight. Now we should have compression, okay? Yeah. Yep, we got a good compression. I can feel the compression in there. So this thing is a little bit off. It's okay. We can always turn that any moment I like. Sometimes I want this clear, so but this can disturb other things. But anyways, we're gonna put this plastic piece up on the top and try to face it backward because this is where your glow plug igniter cable goes in. And we're gonna grab another set of tool. Okay, this should be good enough right here. One. Okay, that's free playing in there. It's not the drill, it's just that it probably was damaged already. See how slow down at the end? That's how you should be doing it. And we're missing one bolt, that's fine. And there you go. This is good. Now all we need to do is put our easy start. We'll put that in next. Easy start has 3 bolts that are already there. And this guy is ready to run. There you go, perfect. And what we're gonna do is put our muffler in, and then we're gonna take this baby onto the truck. And this is a small little O-ring there, so make sure you pay attention to that. And we just need to figure out the manner that this was in. So we need our tool back. Okay, so this is going in just like that. It's kind of tough to get the angle of this. So what I want to do here is I'm going to get one side here, bolt for the one side, and that should hold up the muffler in place for me. Just like that. And then before I lock that up, I do want to get the other bolt. Okay, let's see. Okay, this is stuck in there. Let's get it out of there. They're the 2 longest bolts onto this engine, so make sure you catch the threads before we strip them. So my tool off. I just don't like the spot that it's in, okay? And even me taking it off was kind of, it was a hassle. There you go. Very critical, this doesn't leak, so make sure that O-ring I showed you is in there and it doesn't leak out. And there it is. This is nice and tight. Muffler is locked in. Don't worry, you're probably thinking my muffler is facing all crazy banana way, but there you go. Any way you like. And our Nitro 3.3 is ready to run again. So we're gonna take this and put this baby on the truck, and let's see how far we can get from there. Okay, I might have put the muffler in the wrong spot, so you do have other slots to figure out where you want it at. Yep. So depending on how this engine is gonna sit, if it sits, I know the engine sits kind of straight, so definitely I'm gonna switch up. So you can switch up any angle you like. But what we're gonna do is we're gonna bring the Revo in and we're gonna put this on, and I will do that little bit of adjustment myself. Okay, so here we are. There's no engine in this baby. We're about to drop in the engine, and I do need to reach over to the other end. A lot of people will say I'm crazy, but we're gonna put red thread lock. Even though a lot of people will say I am crazy, I'm not crazy. It is what it is. We do have we got this little guy here, so make sure that goes, and into the bolt we got the sensor. Make sure that goes where it belongs. So pretty much what we're gonna do here is this little guy is gonna sit right here. It's pretty much like a ground to it. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna grab red thread lock, which is right here. A lot of people think I'm crazy, but you don't want your nitro engine to come and lose for any reason, especially because you didn't thread lock it. So what I'm gonna do here is just a tiny bit, okay? It is easy to take out, only as long as you use heat on it. But as long as you got good tools on it, you don't need to worry about that. So I'm gonna prepare this little guy right here. So I'm gonna get this guy in, and it goes into this little guy right here. So this is a sensor here. So make sure your sensor is where it's supposed to be at, so that bolt sits there. Okay, so first thing first, our nitro engine has a sensor which is gonna go all the way to the very center of the head here. So that's the temperature sensor here. So what we're gonna do here is we're gonna get this sensor to open up a bit more so we can slip it in there. Let me just clean your wipe right now. It's a thermal sensor, so all it does is monitors the temperature of the block. And this baby goes in just like that. Okay, so we're gonna go through all these heatsink fins. We're gonna go to the very bottom, all the way to the very bottom, and once we're there, this thing should just lock up right there, and just pull on that string and it should lock up your sensor. Okay, pretty much it goes on actually the heat sink. So let me just make sure I'm good all around. I'm not good on this side. So they made a little spot for it, so that's where it's got to be at. I'm gonna lock this up. So let me just confirm. Yep, I'm good to go. So the next step here is just want to make sure that sensor, the bolt, the sensor, everything is where it's supposed to be at. So, and make sure that the cable, the yellow cable, goes through that bolt, it goes through the RPM sensor, and it sits exactly where it's supposed to. Okay, and at the same time, your engine control here has to just slip right in. The throttle control. Okay, that's in. There you go. We're perfectly good there. We're perfectly good over here. The muffler here is disturbing us. Our flywheel from the bottom end goes in. So pretty much I got this baby in. What I want to do is I want to lock up the 4 bolts, and then we're going to come back and we're going to take a look at it. It was hard for the camera to see, my regular camera, but we got the bolts in, and I'm going to lock them up, all of them, and this is done deal. So I'm going to tighten these up. It'd be a good idea to do this before you put the head of the engine and the easy start in, or you're going to have a little bit of difficulties. But this is locked in. I'm going to get the other one in. All I'm doing is getting it from right here, but not enough space. But I will get them in, and then we'll put all the cables, and we're going to fire up this engine very soon. Okay, so pretty much our engine is locked in, both sides. It's going to be tough to see. You can work on it without taking, like I said, give you more space, but everything is in. We got a new glow plug. The lines are in. The starter cables are in. Easy start wires are in. Filters in. And it's probably going to need tuning. But other than that, we're all set to go. This baby is ready to run. So I'm not going to fire it up right now because I got things going on. But other than that, we're going to fire this baby up eventually, very soon. I do need to fix this strap tie right here onto this exhaust. And that's it. Other than that, it's a go-go. Thank you for watching this video. Stay tuned for us to run this engine up. Will it start up? It should, it better, it has to. If it doesn't, which is not gonna come to, but we might end up doing tuning. We might, we don't have to adjust this little guy right here because our throttle pretty much opens pretty good. And it pulls forward and out, so that's locked in. Perfect notch there on the throttle control horn. Anyways, thank you for watching my video. Stay tuned for more videos on this Revo. Okay, so who am I kidding? We're gonna run this baby right here, right now. We're gonna start it up so we know everything runs good. So the only issue I had was the easy start. I had the wiring backward, so switch them around. If your easy start is just free playing because the one-way wiring is running backwards pretty much. So we put a little bit of fuel in here. So what you want to do is you want to tap on the exhaust as you crank it and prime it, so you will see the fuel go right through the lines. But this nitro is ready to run. Make sure your throttle is being opened and closed properly. So if you need to make some adjustment there, you can do so. But there you go. My tuning is off, but that's something that I need to play around with, and I did do a factory tuning, so it's ready to run on the factory settings. And guys, check out my videos right before this video. I did do a carburetor tuning and I did do a carburetor rebuild video. So this thing is stuck on factory tuning here, okay? Factory tuning, okay? I'm at like sea level. I'm up in North New Jersey, so I am kind of a little bit elevated from the sea a little bit here, but not so much. I'm not like way up north, so it's like pretty much, we do have good air ratio here. Anyways, you're probably not gonna understand what I'm talking about, air ratio and all that stuff. I don't wanna go too many details. Anyways, thank you for watching my video. Give it a thumbs up. We're gonna change up these wheels. We're gonna hit the park and you're gonna see more video winter time. This is what I like to run, but you do need to warm up the engine. Woo! And thank you for watching. Bye-bye.